So let's check out if we have some more question. I asked the Moon King because he was posting a lot of good questions into the comments. I was asking him to just join. In the meantime, do you guys have any questions that you want to talk about? Mike?
There's one question that came up that said, have you ever interacted with somebody who's passed away?
Oh, many times, many times. That's easy too.
In a lucid dream or an astral projection?
Oh, I was thinking astral, but I talk to my dad anytime I want to. Him and I were good friends, and he died in '74. And let me tell you something interesting that happened with him. He came back about 15 years ago, but he had been dead around 15 years. And he came up to me in the astral and he said, "Bill," my dad's name was Bill, "relax, I'm coming into your mind." He came into my mind and played with all my kids.
Wow.
And so he experienced.
Wow, you got kind of back home. On your dad.
I mean, that's pretty nice. Those kind of experiences. So, and I've had lots of them. Met lots of dead people and talked to them and helped a few lost souls. I'm not a real expert, but certain people are attracted to you and you can help them, you know.
How about the other guys?
I've had a couple. I'll tell you one real quick. Bill was just talking about helping lost souls or something. So I was in Ireland.
Whoa! Stop! Someone put Bill on mute. Boot. I don't know.
I sorry, accidentally. I just cannot unmute him.
Here, let's see if we can unmute him.
Let me unmute him.
How am I an admin?
I don't even know you're an admin. I don't think you're an admin. Sorry about that. Bill, you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now you're.
There you are.
Hi, sorry for that. I didn't know I was an admin.
Bill, did you want to add anything to the story?
Oh, on my story? No, that was it, unless someone had a question about it. But I wanted to hear Faye's experience with the lost soul. I was waiting for that.
Yeah, so I was in Ireland, and actually I projected twice when I was in Ireland. I don't know if it was the beer or the exercise every day, or I'm not sure what. I spent 10 days there, and the second time I projected, it felt like I was getting sucked through this tight rubber tube. It was a really bizarre sensation, and I just shot out into some street that I didn't recognize. And there's this old guy, and he's trying to get in his car. He's fumbling with his keys, and he just looks miserable. And so I walked up to him and communicated in the normal fashion that I do when I'm out of body, and it's like, mental thought projection type things. And he basically communicated that he was dead and he doesn't have any idea what to do, and so he's just continuing on with what he did when he was alive. And so he's getting in his car to go to work, and he's just following his normal daily routine that he followed his entire life, but now he's miserable because now all of his efforts are for nothing because his family's still alive, so he's not taking care of anybody. He's just following this routine because he doesn't know what else to do. Sort of like the consensus realities that William Buhlman talks about. And so I tried to project into his head all of these different ideas and said, this could be incredible. This could be the most amazing experience ever. You don't have to keep on doing what you've always done. You could fly, and I projected thoughts of us flying together up in the sky, and I said you could travel, and then I projected thoughts of us going and traveling to different locations together. And at some point I thought I almost had him convinced that he really could make more of the situation than he was, but then I started getting sucked backwards, like up into the sky, and so I'm looking down, kind of diagonally down at him, and I'm yelling to him as I get sucked further and further away. I'm yelling, "I'm going to come back and I'm going to check on you." and I've never found him again. I actually have looked a couple of times, but hopefully that's a good thing. Maybe he moved on and he's doing something more productive now.
Wow. That's pretty cool. And when you talk to him, I mean, obviously he was not going into a real car. He was more like jumping into his astral car, I'm guessing.
Yeah, it was. It's almost like, so when you're in a projection, I have never had any interaction with the physical world that I can verify as real physical world interaction, but it's like there's there's a duplicate of everything that there is in the real world. So when you're walking around your room, you know, you see all the same stuff, and maybe something's a little different. Maybe there might be things that are there that aren't there in real life, but there's still cars on the streets, and there's still, you know, things to interact with that are in that plane of existence, I guess, for lack of a better term.
You know, this is one of the nice subjects we should test. How stable are the characters in the lucid dream and the astral projection? Like, are their personalities the same? Like, will they stay the same the next time we meet them in the astral world or in the lucid dream? I mean, in a lucid dream, they're probably going to be different. They're probably going to have a different personality. But will they have the same personality in the astral world? This is one of the stuff that I'm curious about.
Yeah. Here's one story, and maybe you can give me your opinion on it. So I don't know if you saw that video about the precognitive dream about seeing my grandpa breaking down in the bathroom.
Yes, yeah.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, so that is, it was a lucid dream, I think. And the thing is, like in real life, my grandma walked into the bathroom and saw my grandpa, you know, broken down on the toilet, not being able to move, not being able to speak because he had like a kidney breakdown or something. And 3 days before that happened, I was looking through my dream eyes and seeing the exact same thing happening. And when I was approaching to my grandpa, and I didn't mention this in the video, he actually told me telepathically, Lena, not able to move. I can't speak. I am paralyzed. Please help me. I can't move. So that's what he told me telepathically in what I think is a lucid dream. But when I woke up, and then it turned out into like real life and actually seeing the future, I thought it was the soul or the spirit of my grandpa actually warning me and reaching out to me before that so we could be ready or something like that. I don't know what you guys think.
I believe we can have dreams that tell us a glimpse of the future, maybe. And what I mean by that is that we might have messages that get imprinted in our subconscious in the physical world, and they get like sort of gives you the hidden message inside the dream. I hope you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like interpreting the information we get in the physical reality, but in a different way, which tells us about the future.
But how? Like, he was literally on a different continent. I didn't see him. I didn't hear from him at all. And then I was
Yes,
seeing
that's what's
exact
intriguing.
thing.
You've had a few of those precognitive type dreams, though, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
a couple of them. And this one was the most precise. Like my grandma literally described the same exact situation to me that I already wrote down and I already shared with my family before. So I'm not even making this up. Like, they were like, "Didn't you just dream exactly that? Like, what the heck?" But I'm thinking, was it a dream, only a dream, or was it maybe on some kind of astral plane where information was exchanged, or maybe the spirit of my grandpa actually actively, like his astral spirit actually reached out to me intentionally to already be prepared or something? What do you think?
Well, could it maybe be something like they say that sometimes you can see things happening with the precognitive dreams that might happen in the future because you might know some information yourself and unconsciously you think a few steps ahead. But I've also read about that it's possible, or at least they think it's possible, that you can have shared dreams. Might it be possible for two people sharing their precognitive dreams together so that your subconscious puts together the information your grandpa maybe sent to you through a dream? because also now I'm hearing all your guys' stories about the astral projection, like Bill helping people, because I'm really astonished by the fact I haven't had an astral projection yet, but actually meeting real people's energy or spirits or what you would call it. But I think maybe that could be the case, that people share their precognitive information or precognitive dreams together, and your mind maybe makes a conclusion out of it. At least that's what I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, someone was
Can
commenting. Yeah?
Let me say something about all that. Just like at my home here, I have 2 acres and I have a lot of maintenance to do around here. I have a lot of nice tools. So same way in the astral, as you meet other people, and you know, you just starting astral travel, you're all doing that now. Every one of you's astral traveled as I've listened to you. Now it's time to start building up your astral toolbox, so that, and then you get into what's called spiritual magic. That is, and I love what, let's see, I want to get your name right. I love what Albert said. Get out there and you can get together with another person, both of you put your minds together and change things, like Layla came to California, and all sorts of different things, and you can actually change the reality down here physically, and all of you are capable. In fact, that's the goal. But Layla hit on the main thing, is find out your purpose in life, then the gifts start flowing in, because you're connecting with what our Creator has put you down here to do. And part of that is to advance spiritually. So hopefully you can, if you want to go far enough, you won't have to incarnate here anymore. Or when you incarnate again, you'll have a lot of good tools and you'll have a great time the next time you're down here. And by the way, you can change everything down here and have a great time. You can end anything causing you problems. And all that is done through astral travel. But that's where I really got excited meeting Layla, is this lucid dreaming is really powerful. I mean, you can really change things. It's way more powerful than astral travel.
Wow, that's surprising me. Yeah, I always think like lucid dreaming is like one step before astral projection, actually. In terms of
it's its own animal, and you can change things, and you do right in the dream. You can hop right in there and change.
I know in lucid dream you can change.
You're not going to do that in the astral. You won't do that in the astral. You won't go out and start changing things around. But in the lucid dream, you can. And for example, when I retired, I became a spring coordinator. We have the Mojave Desert, and I went out and we cleaned the springs where there's 25 herds of bighorn sheep. We cleaned the springs. Well, there's a rattlesnake out there called the Mojave Green, and he's the most deadly poisonous snake in America. And I had 3 dreams in a row where I walked around giant rattlesnakes, and in my mind, in the dream, I got bit a couple of times, but by the end of the 3rd dream, I learned how to walk around those snakes and send them thoughts, I'm not harming you, I'm just passing through. And you know, the whole time out there, 6 years, I only saw rattlesnakes twice, and a lot of people go out there and they see them all over, and they never bothered me. But that was a result of lucid dreaming. But at the time, I didn't know it was lucid dreaming.
One guy commented in the about the question that we had. He commented, it's probably about the grandpa dream. It's probably layer 5 of a lucid dream where you can interact with spirits. I mean, I've never heard about that. That's an interesting theory when you think about that.
And with my dad, it was completely lucid in 3D color and everything. And he always would pull a little trick. He'd say, look over there, and the dream would end. Because it's hard for people on the other side, if they're up in the paradise, to pull their energy together and come down and see you, because they're having such a good time. And he would always pull a little trick and end the dream. I've had 3 or 4 really powerful dreams with him. But I can communicate with him anytime I want, sending thoughts. That's real easy to do, telepathy. You just don't see them. But you can send them a thought and bring it back. But all of that is part, and of course, one thing I didn't emphasize, and Layla has touched on it, is by all means, very cautiously get into Kundalini Yoga, learn to raise your energy up to your third eye and crown chakra, and just forget the rest of your body, because then you can, all those powerful gifts come in, start working with all that energy up there. You moved it up. If you're down like in your lower chakra, everybody knows someone who's really stuck there is usually some pervert hitting on women or stuff, because they're stuck down in there and all that sexual, instead of raising it up into the higher parts of your mind and going for other things.
Mike, did you ever change anything in the astral?
Absolutely have. Actually, so I was surprised to hear Bill say that you can't do that, because myself, I manifest things in the astral all the time, and I know several others that I communicate through with them in my channel, and they'll do everything from manifest things, you know, objects, weapons, things like that to fight off dark entities, to manifesting. I've manifested weather, changed the weather in the astral by thinking about it, lit things on fire just by thinking about it.
Oh, I think you meant to something else. I think it was more like, so I know that you think, or you experience that you can manifest things in the astral, which I can only do in a lucid dream, but also I didn't have real, you know, lots of conscious astral projections. But the question was, in a lucid dream, you can, since your subconscious mind, you can actually change the real world by, you know, asking, for example, what is
okay.
Getting the answer and taking that and really doing something. Or, for example, I was able to heal like warts on my finger, literally in a lucid dream, like telling my subconscious mind to send energy, like, or, you know, blood or, you know, vitamins to that point, and it literally healed off within a few days, where it took me forever to treat it with no result in the physical.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, I misunderstood. So I don't think I've ever had... Go ahead, Bill.
You're totally right. I misspoke, and you can change things in the astral. What I really meant, and I was wrong, was it's much more powerful in lucid dream. Anyway, you're right, and I'm corrected.
Okay, so what do you
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I've never done any sort of healing or things like that in the astral or in lucid dreams, for instance. So I can't really make a comparison between the two. I've watched your videos about the healing aspect of it, and I've actually read some accounts in books as well that talk about doing the same kind of thing. So definitely seems like there's potential there, but it's not something I've ever done.
Or anything that you like do in the astral and you literally change the physical. Like I read about crazy experiences of people who got beaten up in the astral and they had literally blue spots on their skin, which is kind of scary.
I've never had that either. I've actually tried to interact with people and then ask them the next day, hey, did you feel me touching you? And the answer was always no. So Robert Monroe talks about pinching somebody and leaving a bruise.
Yeah.
But I've never been able to do anything like that. All of my experiences seem to be just completely in a separate, duplicated type environment.
Okay. Any other questions? Person here, Itzer123, and if you could please
I've actually tried to interact with people and then ask them the next day, hey, did you feel me pinching you? And the answer was always no. So Robert Monroe talks about pinching somebody and leaving a bruise, but I've never been able to do anything like that. My experiences seem to be completely in a separate, duplicated type.
Itzer is actually streaming.
Yeah, I just muted.
Yeah.
Itzer, could you please not open the actual YouTube stream, because you were actually on the mic right now. So just post in the comments below when you close the YouTube video so we can actually talk with you instead of hearing us like double time. We actually hang out on the YouTube. Yeah, and feel free to ask any questions.
One of my current missions in lucid dreams is I'm planning on going to the famous known planet Pandora. Have you ever watched Avatar? You know, the famous Avatar movie. So I want to go to this really beautiful planet I really loved, the Pandora planet. And my last attempt was kind of a failure. I wanted to make a black hole which I can enter, and then it can transform me to this space where I can travel to Pandora. But whenever I made that black hole, it got stuck in my eye. So I really had I think I had bad imagination or something. So yeah,
Oh man.
at the end of that lucid dream, I successfully made a black hole. But when I ended it, it was so pitch black that it ended my lucid dream. But the environment on Earth kind of changed a little bit to Pandora, like the grass, the plants. But it's still one of my goals. I want to ride those dragons, you know. It would be awesome.
That's pretty cool. But you want to do that in a lucid dream, right?
Yes. Until now.
Well, you don't have to create a black hole. You can just jump into people like I do and then become really addicted to it and use them as a pool or just jump into mirrors.
I don't know. I want to experience like this kind of flight, this space flight. I want to experience it. Like the more realistic I think the more realistic you make traveling, the more realistic the planet will be, or something like that. I don't know. That's what I think. I even played the Avatar game, so that my subconscious will have a better idea of what planet will be there. So that's kind of
You know,
of my imagination. Go ahead.
I just got a thought and didn't realize it before. Like we're all here talking, and everyone here, like I said, has had experiences, and so you've been into your higher conscience, all of you. But you know, we all are doing stuff all the time in the astral. We're not just going out there. We're already doing stuff. But the purpose of us meditating or whatever little pathways you're following, and whatever you're doing that works for you, is that's what's best, not just somebody else's opinion. But once we have mastered getting out there and understand how to, you know, jump in the lucid dreams or the astral travel, change things around or work with it, we can actually start changing our world. And all that, it's very simple. Yeah, we're really little miniature gods. Why not? Let's go for it, you know? So, and of course, as you're talking, I'm picking around on you spiritually, and I've gotten a lot of good little secret nuggets already from all of you that I'll start using and put in my toolbox.
Are you saying you've been interacting with our astral selves while we're having this talk right now?
Oh, I am. I'm connecting with all your higher selves.
Why don't you
all
share
of us, we are actually all connected right now, spiritually. If you want, just get in a moment, you'll realize it.
Present, why not? Has anyone read the book by Robert Bruce, Astrodynamics?
I have.
Yeah, I really recommend it. The most mind-blowing, shall I say, effect that someone can experience, or the most mind-blowing experience is, it's called the mind split effect. I think it's what's groundbreaking in the astral projection. It's what differentiates between lucid dreaming and astral projection. I cannot have a simple summary of it, but it's basically like having your astral body looking at your physical body, and at the same time your physical body looking at your astral body. So it's like having two visions at the same time, and having two brains at the same time working, and you're conscious with the two bodies at the same time. And he says that if you want to experience this, you should like go and look at your physical body while you're in your astral body, and then you gradually be more conscious in the physical body, and you will have a vision of your astral body at the same time. And he says that you wake up having a headache, much similar to like putting two mirrors at each other. You will see the reflection, like the endless reflection going on and on and on and on. So I'm really curious about that.
Wow. That sounds crazy.
Another aspect to that he talks about is Robert Bruce claims that everybody projects every night, and that due to this mind split effect, a lot of times we just don't remember the dreams or the projections, because you basically have to download these experiences to your physical mind after the astral experience is over. So he talks about in the book how he tries to project and he thinks that it was a failure, but then it turns out that his astral body was just out somewhere having some kind of experience, and then it finally re-enters and reconnects with his physical, and all of a sudden he downloads all of these memories. and so he's aware of what was going on during this period where he thought he had failed, where he really was successful. I think is kind of a summary of it.
Indeed, he actually believes that
That kind of
a copy of us leaves the body and not ourselves. A copy of us leaves the body and it downloads the memory to this physical brain.
Right. Yeah. And so Layla, that was Astral Dynamics by Robert Bruce.
Thank you.
He also talks a
Yeah,
lot
I mean,
about
yes.
tactile imaging, which is a good exercise somebody else brought up earlier.
Yeah, what is that?
Tactile imaging is trying to build your non-physical awareness, and so he goes through all kinds of different exercises. They started out as visualization, where you're visualizing touching, like touch sensations, various places on your skin, and then after through meditation and practice of this tactile imaging over and over again, you get to the point where you can actually feel these sensations, and then you can do like a ping pong type effect where you basically close your eyes and you meditate. You try to feel yourself moving back and forth outside of your physical body, and try to put your awareness far out of your physical body. And if you can get your awareness out of your physical body and hold it at some point far away from your physical body, then at some point that turns into, at least the way I understand it, turns into this conscious shifting where you move your conscious awareness out into some other place, and you can just project by thinking about it, essentially.
Yes, because basically the goal is to bring your mind out of the focus of your mind out of your physical body. So it's like making it easier for you to focus more on your astral body.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
It's kind of interesting because his theory that we all astral project every night kind of lines up with me remembering dreams and lucid dreams, but then I have these kinds of dreams that it's a weird kind of feeling. They're special dreams, and they feel like they're almost like they happened 1,000 years ago. It's really weird. It's a special kind of group of dreams, and I remember them specifically being different. And those are the dreams where I literally go to places that I revisit and revisit, where I check up on people. I know where they live, and I come back there and they tell me, oh yeah, now this and this happened, or I lost my job and stuff. But it's a weird world. Like, it's not like on Earth. There's more like villages, and it looks a little bit like Italy, and they're all on little islands and stuff. So weird dreams that I feel could also be, you know, a parallel space somewhere else, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But the memories are really distant, so I don't know if that's something that aligns with what he says, that we all astral project, we just don't remember quite as clear sometimes.
I think there's probably some truth to that, because I've had some scenarios where it's almost like I'm remembering other projections that I don't have a full conscious memory of, if that makes sense. Like I get little snippets of memory, and I can't really figure out what came before it or what came after it, but it mostly leads to like a feeling of deja vu or familiarity or something like that.
Yeah.
I do recognize the feeling that sometimes after a few dreams or in the morning that you don't really remember if what you have in the back of your mind happened in real life or it happened in a dream. I've been having that the last couple of weeks, especially during the summer vacation, that can't remember exactly what it was, what the occurrence was, but I was thinking during breakfast, did I really experience it or was it in a dream? I couldn't tell the difference at that point, so that was also kind of a weird experience.
Can I tell all of you something I've been doing while you've been talking here the last few minutes?
Sure.
Please.
I started touching all your spirits, and there's like it's like a scale, and I realize every one of you is more advanced than me. You've done more stuff in your previous lives. You're way ahead of me, every one of you. And of course, you're all a lot younger than me, and you'll all come to realize that over the next few years, maybe 10, 20, however long it takes you, as long as you stay on, and you will, because you're all enlightened. You're open to the higher consciousness. But I was thinking, maybe any of you who want to, when we get done, maybe we could all have this up in the spirit tonight, finish up our conversations, and then even if you don't see it, astral traveling, in the morning ask yourself, what did I learn? And all of you have a lot that I could learn from. Maybe I'm being a little greedy, but all of you are very advanced and know a lot of secrets, and you will eventually connect with all that. Especially Layla, she was been a teacher before in a previous life or something. And Layla, sometime we'll talk on the phone, and the way to do it is you can ask me questions and I'll ask you questions, and then just pull it out of your higher self, because your higher self has your whole record, all your lifetimes, everything's there. And just asking the question, you could say, for example, well, what did I do in my last lifetime? It could just pop into my mind and I could tell you. And you can, all of you can do that with each other. I think, is it Marta, and who else is her friend that you two chat? You could do that too when you're chatting. And I forgot who it was that chats with Marta. And yeah, and just ask each other questions. Have you ever thought about what I did? And actually, you already have all that. You've both, since you've talked, you both that melded minds up in the astral. You've already done that, and you know everything about each other already.
Yeah.
Just a matter of going into yourself.
Okay. What other account?
Okay,
I'll
that's
ask you
enough.
for like, hold on. I'm going to sign out.
We just got a new guest. Hi, Rusty. You hear us? Rusty? Okay, seems like he's not on his desk right now, but he joined. So, Rusty, feel free to introduce yourself and say hi if you feel like it. Okay? There's also, like, in the comments, there's, you know, always discussion going on. So, guys, if you want to join, feel free to join us in the Hangout. The link is in the video description. That way you could ask yourself, ask the questions directly, specifically the Moon King. He keeps texting in the comments, but you're more than welcome to join. I'm pretty sure you have really good experiences to share as well, so we would all like to learn from you. So please come and join the conversation. Don't be shy. There's no discrimination. And we want
Moon King tried to join. It looks like his headset didn't work, so he says maybe next time.
Okay. Well, you can try it from your phone, maybe.
Well, I have a question for the astral travelers. Like, how far away have you ever got from like your physical body? Because I've heard of people who have got like pretty far away, and some other people who say they just, you know, got around the house or something.
If I tell you my experience, yeah, sorry.
Oh, go ahead. No, go for it.
Well, my story's pretty short though. I think it wasn't really astral projection, but since it started with vibrations, I might as well share it. I had really strong vibrations, and it was like I felt it was time to go out of my body. And when I did, I literally exploded out of my bed right through the ceiling, and I've made like a circle around the whole world, and ended up in a really random land, like a jungle or something. It was really weird, but that's how far I went. I was like in a totally new environment where I didn't expect myself to go that far. Is that what you mean by going far, or do you mean like?
Yeah. That's what I mean. Yeah.
What about you?
Well, for example, if you go out and look at the night sky and you see stars way out there, they might be 100 light years from here, and that you could never do that as a human being. But if at the speed of thought, you're there instantly. And like my little home, it's called Hanalana, and it's like a desert area, but on the other side, there's a beautiful valley with a river going through it. And hold on to your hats. I never told anyone that I have 3 wives up there, and they take care of the place. And, I mean, that's just And that's completely normal up there, those sort of things. And yet I have lots of other friends too. And you can have like 100 different things like that going on. And it's hard to explain all of that. But it's beautiful. And there's crystals in my house. And every book, you can touch the crystal that's ever been written is there. I can read any book I want. I don't know if you've ever heard of the mineral chalcedony. It's a beautiful mineral full of millions of little crystals. And I keep one next to my bed to stimulate my mind at night when I astral travel. And it helps, the crystals. It's like a crystal radio, I have a giant pool there, and warm water flows into it, and we swim in there. It's like a swimming pool. And nobody can go there unless I let them know where it is. It's so far out, and nobody knows it. And the reason nobody knows it is because that's what I believe. Of course, the Creator knows, nobody else. And you can just do all those sorts of things. Of course, some of you now, Layla's smiling. She's probably going there right now since I said it. Yeah, she's astral. Your higher self has already gone there.
I've been there mentally because you talked about it, and obviously I kind of visualized.
Yeah, now you just traveled.
I was in that.
You just traveled. So, see, we're all starting to really get up in the spirit now and doing things.